I
Okay.
might have a mental breakdown mid pod. And if that happens, I suggest you just let it happen because I think if you intervene, it might not be good for your safety.
Are you talking to me or the dog?
You and Hutch.
Why my safety? You're over there. I ain't worried about you.
I might have caused your ears with my screaming.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay. I'm here. I'm
Hi.
clear. I am here. Hi.
Hey.
Episode 10.
Can you
How?
believe?
How did we get here already? Like, where has the time gone?
I'm
I
so
will
proud of
say
us.
I am too. It's been consistent. It's been fun. I will say it's been so great to spend this time with you and to be able to talk about differences and find middle
Same.
ground and have just constructive conversation. And
I
from what we're
agree.
hearing from people, like we're kind of inspiring some people to do the same. I was telling you one of your friends has reached out to me, like, we don't see things, but I don't know that he would have done so if he hadn't seen the capabilities of being able to do that. And it was a great conversation. And I adore Chris. It made me
Yeah, I asked him
appreciate
about it, and
him
he said the
even
same thing
more.
you did. Yeah,
Oh,
he said the
really?
same exact.
It made me just
Yeah.
appreciate him even more.
No, it's been so much fun. I've enjoyed. I mean, I just love that we get to hang out every week. But I totally agree. I think it's inspired to people to have conversations. I'm getting a lot of great feedback from people that I know don't think the same way as I do, which is really great.
Right.
So it's been awesome. I've loved it. Happy episode 10. Happy Thursday to everybody. It's a celebratory day to everybody except for the board at Emory Hospital in Georgia. I hope you all have the day that you deserve. But other than that, it's
Wow.
a great day.
And we'll talk about that because what the fuck? How was your weekend? What did you do?
It was great. We celebrated Dad's birthday and Father's Day at the Sand Pearl in Clearwater Beach. It was absolutely lovely. We had a super nice time. It was like so much quality time with my dad that I don't get often.
Yeah.
Because mom couldn't come on Friday. She had to come like
Mm.
later in the evening. So me, dad, and Connor hung out all day. And I think it's the first time in 6 years that Connor's gotten to be around my dad without my dad having to like drive home or worry about a million things. Tom's always kind of just, Tom is a couth man. He minds his P's and Q's
Yes.
at all times, especially if it's in public or if he has to drive my mom home or, if our grandfather's around. He's just like, that's how he is. So he got to let loose and him and Connor had the best time. And so it was really, really
Wow.
lovely. Yeah. Yeah.
Tom got to be Tom Cruise.
I got to
Yeah.
see it and I never get to see it.
Yeah. I love it. And your dad is a man of like few words, and when he speaks you listen, so I'm glad that he got to let down because I've never seen that either, right?
Yeah. Tom got to let his hair down.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Good for
So it was
Tom.
really nice.
Good for Uncle
Yeah.
Tom. Good for you guys to get to spend that quality time. A little staycation never hurt anyone.
Yeah, it was very lovely. But I saw that you got to kind of play uncle babysitter this weekend.
We did spending time with Joey's niece, who I'm so glad I got to spend that time with her. I absolutely love and adore this child. She was just so easy to hang out with. She came over Saturday morning and there was just like one little moment. I mean, she's a 2-year-old. They have moments where she just kind of was fussy, cried. She came Saturday and they left Sunday. His sister and brother-in-law had a wedding, Vietnamese wedding, which apparently is like a huge thing. They had like 200 and some people there. I was like,
Oh,
what?
wow.
And that was
I'd
the
love to
first
see.
ceremony.
I love to go to weddings of other cultures.
Same. Same. That was just a lot of fun. My daycare days, I think I mentioned this before, but I spent 3 years working in a daycare with all kinds of ages. And so that just kind of came out and we just had so much fun. And yeah, she was just so easy. We colored. She loves chicken nuggets. And so I actually made homemade chicken nuggets for her. And so I made her rice and she just loved it. She was getting fussy. And so she just sat next to me and I fed her and we practiced her feeding herself. And she's just such a big girl. I love her so much. Her name's Amelia. Yeah, Miss Amelia.
She's so cute. I saw a
So
couple of
cute.
videos that Joey posted and she just looks so cute.
She's
I'm
so
glad that it was
precious.
good. She do okay? Sorry, Hutch is moving my chair. So if you see me doing this, it's because of Hutch. Did she do okay with like staying the night?
Yeah, no problem. We laid in
What a big
bed.
girl.
She slept in this room. We laid in bed and she loves to read books. So we read a few books, like Goodnight Moon was one. She knows the words like she can read. This is going to take 5 minutes and she's going to be out. And sure enough, she was just nodding and I rub her back and just make sure she's soothed and knows that she has someone there. You see the eyes drooping. I was like, three,
No.
two, What? Clockwork. And she sleeps through the night. There was at one point, just a couple hours later, she got kind of fussy. So I let her have a moment to self-soothe. And then she got a little more excited. And I just went in there and rubbed her back and she was out in 30 seconds. And then she slept through the night. She's just such an amazing little girl. I truly adore her. And I really want her to come back and spend more time with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so sweet. How special.
Yeah, it really was special, and I don't get to spend a lot of time with her, and so it was great. And Joey doesn't either because, you know, they live a little over an hour away. So for him to be able to spend that quality time with just her is also super important. I'm glad he got to do that.
Yeah. Oh, well, good. I'm glad it went so well. I was excited to hear how it went. Yeah.
And in other giant, huge, very important news, I went to see How to Train Your Dragon.
I've heard nothing but fantastic reviews. I've heard
Loved it.
Bad thing.
I loved it. I never go to the movies twice to really see anything. I really want to see it again. I think what they did to create a live action, Disney, with all due respect, needs to take note. Probably, in my opinion, one of the best live action adaptations I've ever seen. They did a really good job of keeping to the storyline, but put some of their own little nuances in that I think were really subtle. It's one of my favorite franchises, and I've watched the first movie probably 9,622 times. They just did a really good job, and at first I was really worried about how they would make Toothless look. Looks so real. I was very impressed. Joey and I said the same thing just throughout the movie. I don't know what's CGI and what's actually real. It was very hard to determine because also the actors did fantastic. They looked and carried the characters so well. I felt they were actually the characters from the movie. And Gerard Butler as the father was just so good. I was really, really, really impressed. Because I also took Joey to the Chinese theater and we saw it in 3D.
What does that mean?
So not only was it in 3D, but also the seats moved when you felt heat when the fire was there. If there was fire or stuff blowing, the air would blow in your ear.
Magic.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's the exact same thing. And when there were light flashes, there was light flashing everywhere. You felt very immersed in it. So now I want to go see it not in 3D or 4D and the chair's doing this. It was really cool, but I want to see it on the big screen, you know, normally. But very well done. I'm very impressed. Congratulations to the movie. Now more than ever, I want to go to Epic Universe. I need to go.
We need to go.
I need to go. I need to go. I don't care how crowded it is. I need to see this dragon in real life. I'm so giddy about it, and I saw it almost a week ago.
Yeah. Connor and I want to go this year. Maybe I think we're going to be here for Christmas if you want to maybe do that. Christmas time, around that time, like maybe in the middle of the week would be a great time to go because it'll be perfect weather. Yeah. So maybe we'll plan
It's so funny because I was actually kind of thinking, was like, I need to start planning trips because I try to go at least twice a year.
Okay.
But if you're going to be home for Christmas, then I'll talk to Joey to see.
Yeah, I think we're going to do Indiana for Thanksgiving, so we'll be home for Christmas.
Heard.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it was good. Maybe I can get Connor to go see it with me tonight.
You should. It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
I'm glad it was so good. Some of the live action stuff that has come out has really disappointed me. Mulan's my favorite movie, and Mulan disappointed me so much. The fact that they made Mushu a fucking kite, like some sort of kite, he's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It really wasn't good.
I'm excited that even though it's not Disney, that a live action came out and did the movie justice, because How to Train Your Dragon is so good that they had to do a good job with that or they were going to disappoint millions of people.
Yeah. And same, I haven't heard anyone give it a negative review. In fact, I have two friends that are very harsh movie critics. I mean, we're in LA. Everyone's kind of a critic. I remember one of them had their post that went, "That's," capital letters, "that's how you do a live action." Like he was very impressed.
Cool. I want to go see it this weekend, but I have Erica's birthday. By the way, guys, and it'll probably be on my Instagram by the time this comes out on Tuesday. I made the most fire fucking cake for Erica's 30th birthday. It is an Oreo McFlurry flavored cake. And let me tell you, it's perfect. The cake layers I made taste exactly like an Oreo cookie. So the middle of it is like Oreo McFlurry filling. I was sitting there
ice cream
yesterday.
Or frosting?
No, it's frosting. It just tastes, if I froze it, it would taste exactly like an Oreo McFlurry. I was sitting there as I was making this filling, just like eating dollops of it to a point where I made myself a little sick yesterday. It's so good. And it's going to be my first attempt at a vintage heart cake, like with the old vintage piping and stuff. So if it's good, it'll be on my Instagram. If it's not, you won't see it.
Oh, I wish I could try it.
Yeah, I will. I honestly, if it's really good, maybe I'll like make another one. I'll put like a little frozen thing and I'll ship it to you because I think it's one of the better ones I've made ever. I said that last week, though. Oh my God, I'm getting so good. What are your weekend plans?
None. Great.
None? None?
Yeah, I think Joey's friend Clara, who listens to this. Hi, Clara. She
Hi,
loves
Clara.
this podcast. Like, loves this
Yay.
podcast, which I'm very appreciative. She's constantly telling Joey how much she loves it. So, hi, Clara. I love you so much. She's going to come over Friday night. She loves to play games and loves to play Nintendo. And I'm excited for her to come over and play the Switch. By the time she hears this, she'll have already played. But I want her to play Mario Kart. So, and I love her.
Fun.
She's just a really cool person and a really good human. And we have great conversations. So I'm excited for her to come over.
Cool. You should do like retro snacks. Like you should do like Dunkaroos and stuff. And make it a thing. If you feel like putting effort into it. If you like Clara enough to put effort into her, you would do that.
Clara, don't listen to her. I love you just the same.
He'd love you more though if you did Dunkaroos.
Girl.
I'm just kidding.
Clara loves me already. I'm her favorite person in the world outside of Joey. You're welcome.
Well, that'll be really fun. Excited to introduce a new little segment. What we're going to do. We're going to try to do it weekly just because I feel like, and I'm sure you guys would agree, that the current climate on the news and social media is a bit suffocating. And we'll still always cover it because that's what we do here. But I don't know if anyone else is feeling the anxieties, but CJ and I are with, just all of the negative things happening. So we want to start the show off with little pieces of good news that are happening around the world to make you smile before we let you down with all the shitty things that are happening afterward.
Totally true, because I'm not even trying to doom scroll. I just open my phone and the doom shows up. We've been following some positive accounts like Upworthy, Good News Movement kind of thing. And so, we want to provide a little bit of positivity with this segment called A Good Opinion.
Yes. So I will kick it off. And I thought this was really sweet. And I also have a golden retriever myself. So Connor and I were just geeking out over this over the weekend. But a golden retriever named Bruce, who was the bat retriever for the minor league team for the Nationals, was officially called up to the bigs this weekend because he has been working his tail off in the minors and he got called up. So congratulations to Bruce, the golden retriever.
Come on, Bruce, with your bats. I love. One of the ones that I saw that I absolutely loved was this young man was graduating high school and his stepdad was in the audience being very proud of his stepson for graduating. And what he didn't know is that, when they call your name out on the stage to be recognized for graduating, he put his stepfather's last name in the name. And it was just so precious. The mother was recording the father, and you could see the just shock on his face, and he instantly just started crying. I'm sure it was really special to, recognize that this child who you probably, raised, recognized that you're like a father to him. And it's just, that's very special.
Cool. That's so cool. And it was Father's Day weekend.
Oh, yeah. What a great moment.
Yeah, that's really sweet. You know what? Shout out to all the dads because our grandpa did the same for our moms. Shout out to all the dads who might not be biologically connected to their kids, but they said, you know what? I'm going to take care and love this child as my own and raise this child as my own. You guys deserve
100%.
A round of applause. Yes.
Totally agree. Shout out to all the dads. I hope you had a great weekend. And shout out to the dads, the daddies, and the zaddies. Y'all are also awesome.
I was going to save this for the end, but I do think that this is a good thing. It is political, but we have a lot to talk about today, so I will talk about it now. The Take It Down law got passed either this morning or yesterday, which if you don't know about the Take It Down law, this is a law that benefits everybody, but really does a lot for children and women. So basically what this law does is it makes, I can't remember exactly in terms of like the punishments, but it makes it a federal crime to post pictures of nude women or anybody, it can be a man too, without consent online. And they've implemented different trackers and things to be able to take these photos down quickly. Even if you have a photo of the photo, there is ways for them to be able to take it down and push federal charges, which is huge. Not only that, but it also makes it a federal crime for you to put AI photos of women and children out there in a pornography setting. So this is huge. This is really awesome because AI is starting to get scary. And at least if we're not going to have other regulation of AI, I'll take this as a start for sure. So I thought that was a great piece of news to come out.
I agree, especially when you're trying to defamate someone's character or try to embarrass someone or do something crazy. No one should have the right to put nude or fake
No.
nude photos of someone else on the internet. So I
Yeah,
love that. I like that. That is good news.
that's
That's
huge
totally good
news. Yeah.
news. Another one I have that's not related is this past weekend or last week, San Quentin, which is a very popular incarceration center, the rehabilitation center hosted a father-daughter prom dance. And I thought that was so precious because, you know, a lot of these people miss a lot of opportunities to witness milestones and stuff of their children. So for them to have their own prom and a dance and being able to actually spend time with their children, I think is really beautiful.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
huge. And I think there are, I will say, sorry, Hutch moved me again. One good thing that I'm seeing amongst celebrities or some famous people that is that they are putting time and resources into prison reform, and things like that are huge. Like the point is to help these people better their lives so that they can come out on the other side and do better. And small things like that really make a really big difference. And it probably doesn't feel small to those men to be able to, you know, spend that with their daughters. That's really great.
Or the children, yeah. So there is good things happening in this
Yes.
world, and I'm glad we could highlight them. So pop culture and news, what's happening?
Yeah, let's start going down our other path. One big one that I would really love to cover today. I don't know if you've watched it yet, but the Call Her Alex documentary featuring Alex Cooper came out, I believe, 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And
Hulu.
on Hulu, yes. And the biggest story that has come to the surface was Alex's allegations against the BU female soccer coach for sexual harassment. This story particularly to me stuck out because Alex and I are the same age, and Alex and I played within a lot of the same tournaments, circles, and things like that. She probably has no idea who I am, but this has been a known thing about this BU coach since I was a teenager and going through recruitment. This was a big question mark regarding this coach, and it has been for years. And she didn't retire until 2022. So the fact that Alex has blown the whistle is really huge, because not only do women and athletes deserve a safe space to play in, but it's allowing for other women to come forward, because now on social media, because this coach had been there for forever, there are people's moms who are getting on TikTok and being like, yes, this happened to me. We all hated her. Yeah. Women are coming out of the woodwork. This isn't going to be the first or last time that this happens. I do think that it's going to be less so because there are people like Alex who will speak out, and because of the power of social media and things like that.
And her platform, like this, she's Call Me Daddy. We're talking Alex Cooper here. She doesn't have a small platform. Like Kamala Harris went on her podcast. Like that's how big she is.
Yeah, she's huge. So this is massive. And
it is crazy. And I'm not a woman. And just warning before we talk about this, there are going to be references to sexual assault and abuse. So if that's something that's difficult for you, please just skip to the next chapter, push the little button. We want to protect your mental health. I think the thing I hate to see is that women don't always feel that they can come forward to speak about these things. And from what I hear is, you know, fear, or no one's going to believe me, or nothing's going to happen. And I hate that. The fact that it took this long for someone to really speak up about it, I hate that for women. I am very, very, very much like, this is something that bothers me in my core that this happens. I have a very, very, very close friend that her freshman year of college was taken advantage of, had her virginity taken from her, and she just never wanted to say anything. She didn't want to deal with it. I want to know who it is, and ended up actually getting pregnant from this, and I had to go to her school to help her deal with her situation. And it was just, to this day, it still angers me, and it's been 20 some years.
Yeah. The fact that these things happen, and they happen so regularly, I think this is adding another layer to it, because this was a female coach. And so a lot of women are like, are we fucking safe anywhere? Seriously. And these things happen to everyone, men and women, but unfortunately it does happen to women more. Like, you're not going to convince me that's not true. And what's even more sickening is the people and institutions that don't put a stop to this. Alex is not the first person that came to BU and said, hey, this is happening. And not only did they ignore Alex when that happened, they basically were like, what do you want us to do? Because they weren't going to fire the coach and they weren't going to press charges against the coach. So Alex just left her junior year. So it's so sad because, guys, I wish I could put it into words how hard you have to work your entire fucking life to get to that point in your career. And for her to have to leave her junior year of college after all that hard work is so sad because the school didn't give her a choice, despite
Right.
her mom having an entire journal from her freshman year to her junior year, writing recounts of her daughter's complaints throughout the years. BU did nothing. Because what family can stand against the lawyers of a huge college? They can't.
Right.
Right. And then for BU to come out with like this sorry ass statement of, oh, we absolutely don't tolerate sexual harassment. Well, that's fucking bullshit because you're backing the coach and there has been proof of this and she's not the only one. So that's absolute crap. They didn't acknowledge Alex formally. I mean, it was a total PR BS statement. And so because of things like that and institutions that have a lot of power, unfortunately, I highly doubt this coach is going to get any backlash. I mean, she's retired now, so okay. But I don't even think, which is so sad with this as huge of a platform as Alex has, that this is going to put that much of a dent in the BU or in the situation.
I agree. Unfortunately, for anyone to say that they don't believe her, I think is wild. There were people like very specific things that were called out. Alex had a full ride. She was that good.
Very good.
And she had to sacrifice something that she was so passionate about. And that breaks my heart even more. To your point, that she just couldn't, it broke her enough that she had to leave. I hate that. And I think another thing that is really pissing me off is the fact that there are now so many women that are putting out a letter in support of this coach saying, well, I didn't see that. This didn't happen. Just because you didn't see it and it didn't happen to you doesn't mean that it didn't happen. This woman was very clearly targeting her. From my understanding in the witness statements is that she was being targeted. She had this obsession with her. She was showing up in places that had nothing to do with soccer. And it was just very clear. She talked about her friends and people that were close to her that were like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Why is this woman doing this? You know, she would be at certain places and then had her hand on her thigh, would make comments about what she was wearing, her legs. That is inappropriate. I don't care if you're playing soccer or you're a coach. That's inappropriate. Period. Point blank. In paragraph. And then for her to speak up and this coach retaliating, and I believe it was a championship that she like benched her most of the time.
Benched her for most of the game. Yeah.
You took her playing time away. Like you took a musician's instrument from them. You took an artist's paintbrush. What? It's wild.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't like and was trying to cover up what you did. And I don't like that there's all these girls and women signing this petition. It's gross. What happened to women supporting women?
Women don't support women. They'll say it all the time. But honestly, women are each other's biggest threats, I feel like, and it's so sad. And, you know, too, I think the fact that there is so much proof because Alex brought it to the school's attention at that age, because what happens when you were younger, and when you're in college, you're an adult, but let's be honest, like none of us are like fully formed adults in college. We're just not.
Your brain's not fully developed yet. And we're not
so the
exactly
fact
the
that
most mature.
she knew what was happening and understood what was happening, because a lot of people don't believe women because a lot of the time women don't realize it was abuse until years later. So she brought this to their attention when it was happening, which means it had to have been pretty obvious and blatant for her to be like, oh, this is not a good thing. This is making me uncomfortable, rather than something that you kind of look back on years later and you go, oh, wait, I think maybe that happened to me, because that's valid too. So the fact that she brought this to their attention in the moment and they ignored it, and now they're trying to not only back up this coach, but just PR their way out of it. Give me a fucking break. Like, that's part of the problem. So I'm just saddened for Alex, and I'm saddened for any of the players at BU that experienced that. And honestly, if you're the players that are signing this petition, shame on you. Shame on you, because you are discounting everything that she's saying. Even though you're saying like, I don't want to discredit her, but this didn't happen to me. You are discrediting her by putting your name on that. So shame on y'all.
And y'all don't be signing that petition. Support your women. Fuck off with that shit too. Period.
Yeah.
You know who is sort of having this, I don't even know if I want to call it a moment, but it is something that I can't stop watching because it's wild, is Amanda Bynes. I know that we've talked about her before, but I don't know if my algo is just like, okay, girl, you got to see this one. But yes, she's got the bangs, but it's blonde now. Y'all, Amanda Bynes is going to be doing your nails. The eyebrows. Amanda Bynes is going to be doing your nails soon.
I have questions. I have
what is going
questions,
on?
CJ. Where will Amanda Bynes be doing nails? A. B. Is she gonna have security while she's doing nails? Is it out of her house? Is she gonna be at the local pro nail?
Right, you're gonna go to your nail salon in the strip mall and you're gonna sit down and try to get your acrylics, and Amanda Bynes with her short ass bangs, this long ass mullet, this heart on her cheek is gonna come in, just gonna sit down and be like, all right, what color do you want them to be? Like,
can you wait?
why is Amanda Bynes doing my nails? I would pull my hands back and be like, bitch, you are not touching my nails. Can I please get someone else over here? No, you are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on a Saturday morning with no cartoons. I need you to get your hands off my nails. No. Girl, you are crazy.
Listen, I can't imagine walking into a nail salon, going to sit down when they tell you what booth to go to for your pedi, sitting down and expecting sweet little gorgeous May to come and do your nails, and then you look up and it's Amanda Bynes with her black eyebrows, her heart tattoo, and her looking at you going, hey, so I got my nail tech license. Okay.
Y'all, please go to her account and look at this video. It's insane. I was laying in my bed on my nightly social media before bed and I sent it to you. This cannot be real. What happens in your life that as a famous celebrity that you like, oh, I need to do nails. That's my next step.
Especially when you're getting paid $1K per cameo. Why do you need to go get a job as a nail tech?
Yes, let's talk about that. So another thing is that she posted this video of all the cameos that she was doing, but she recorded all her cameos in one straight video. And it sounds like an unhinged person. It just does. Hi, Gina. I hear it's your birthday. Is it your birthday? Happy birthday. Hi, Rachel. Happy birthday. Hi, Rachel. I'm really happy for you. Hi. This monotone. Are you going to cut these or are you just going to send the video saying happy birthday and hello to 12 people to all 12 people? It's one video. And she has this cold look in her face. Something's not there. Something is obviously not wired right. And you can see it in her eyes. No one is home. The lights are on, but someone did not pay rent inside of that head.
Yeah. It's
and
sad.
What happened? This is, in my opinion, someone that needs a conservatorship.
Does she have one?
You know,
do we know?
I don't know, but y'all, fame does shit to people. It just does. So I went to Cameo. I want one for the pod. I'm going to do one. We are going to have it posted here. Amanda Bynes is going to shout us out. It's going to be great. I went to her Cameo and she's charging a minimum of $1,000. Bitch,
yeah, but you get 12 cameos in one. So really they're $120 each or whatever that is.
I'm not paying for Rachel Bobick from Michigan to get her happy birthday message for 2 seconds. Bitch, you have lost your goddamn mind. Think that I'm going to pay $1,000 for you to barely speak English to me.
Do you think we could try and get her on for an interview? How epic would that be?
Hit her up. Let's see what happens. DM her.
Let's just try. Like, let's try. I feel like if we did get a cameo, it would be like, hi, opinionated podcast. It's Amanda Bynes, and then it would just be 2 seconds later. Hey, Dana, happy birthday.
I'm fucking dead. Y'all, if we get Amanda Bynes on this podcast, I'm telling you right now, I will pass out. I'm going to pass out. I'm literally going to be on edge. She's going to pop on, and I'm just fall right over.
What's the first thing that you would ask her? Do you know? Do we jump right into Nickelodeon? Do we ask her what her day-to-day looks like?
I'd probably ask her what she has for breakfast. What do you eat for breakfast, Amanda Bynes? Like, are you having eggs and toast? Or do you eat, I don't know, like
Opioids.
rusty nails? OUD is a problem for the record.
It's kind of crazy, but I would love to see her nail videos. Like maybe she'll start, maybe the Bynes is as kick-ass at doing her nails as she is at her eyebrows. I want to see how she markets her nail business. I truly want to know, is there a brick and mortar?
What do you think the name would be? Amanda
I was
Nail.
just thinking that.
But not Amanda, it's a man to nail.
She should call it like the Amanda Show. Like that would be, or like Dancing Lobster's Nails. If you watch the Amanda Show, you know. Nickelodeon fucked that girl up. But She's the Man is like is a movie that truly shaped me as a person. Now everyone can see you for what you truly are, which is ugly. So it's a movie where she wants to play soccer and the girls' team gets cut. The girls' team gets cut from Cornwall. So she pretends to be her twin brother and she dresses up as a man and stays in the man's dorm room with Channing Tatum. And she has a crush on Channing Tatum and teaches him how to use
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, teaches him how to use a tampon for his nosebleeds. And it is one of the best movies of my childhood. It is what we watched on every bus ride to and fro through college, like as, you know, young adults as well. It is the best movie.
Amanda fucking Bynes.
Yeah. Well, good luck to her.
Anyway, thoughts and prayers, girl. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. You know what really is crazy though, like crazy town, is the people that are coming after Sabrina Carpenter. Have you seen that about her
yes, this album cover? First of all, the album is pretty good. I listened to the single from the album. This is actually pretty good. She writes good music. She's a very talented artist. Her music is fantastic. And the thing that I'm confused about is, have you all listened to her music? Have you listened to her album? Have you watched anything she's done? That's kind of a little bit of her brand. She's a more sex positive person. Her Christmas special, her variety show, which people don't do anymore, was incredible. She remade one of her songs to be a Christmas song, and it's talking about Santa's snowballs. She's always been that way, and her stuff has always been a little bit more provocative. So I'm confused. Yeah. If that's how she wants to brand herself, and you know, this has been around for a while. I don't see these same people talking about Sports Illustrated swimsuit covers.
100%. I also don't think that the people that are criticizing the album cover are her fans either. They're just
totally agree.
People that probably have never heard her music. She also specifically sings about things that happen in her life. She's said it in multiple interviews, and she does it to basically make fun of what's happening. So I would also bet that this album cover is because people do talk about her. So I guarantee you that's probably also the reason behind the album cover. She's like, okay, let's fucking play it up then. You know what I mean? She believes her sexuality and her womanhood is brought through her prowess in that way. And I think that's a source of strength for a lot of women. Putting women down for like wanting to be sexual and sexy, fuck off. Women are hot. Women are sexual creatures too, and they are allowed to bring out their femininity through that. So everyone sit down and stop being so prude. Ugh. So just fucking, if she wants...
her music is so good. She puts out some bops. I fucking love it, and everybody knows her music. Everyone loves her songs. So like everyone fucking loves that song. Get out of my face. Hi, Hutch.
I know this is turning into a weekly thing. Yeah, she's getting a lot of flack, and they're like, "Oh my god, like we have a misogynist in office, and now she's playing into that." Shut up, you guys! Just shut up. Anyone that's I believe anyone that like looks at women and is like, "Well, if you dress like that, you're asking for it," or if you act like this, like you're a slut. Honestly, you're probably just jealous because you can't dress like that.
Hello.
All
right.
Well,
I'm asking you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Sit down.
Hello.
Wear your grandma panties that I can see you through your jeans, and go eat.
This is probably coming from these basement bobs anyway. You could never get her anyway, so
literally,
be jealous.
It's always also too. It is always the men that like literally could never. In what fucking world are you ever going to be wanted by this woman?
Shady.
Like that man that trolled me on TikTok this week. That told me that I had a 12-year-old he-she body. Like, bro, you look like a thumb. You look like a thumb. I actually
Did you see that I actually went to his profile and read him a little bit? He was like, I don't care what you think. He said something to the effect of, I don't care what you think. And I went on saying, apparently you do because you actually took the time to make a post about it and you
Yeah.
insulted her. So I guess you do care what her, you do
He
care what
deleted
she.
all of it, and I think he might have reported me because I think I got shadow banned on TikTok because okay, guys, I got bullied by this guy, and honestly, like whatever, this older dude that like
It was
my
so
dad's age.
stupid.
It was
And that's
so
all his platform
stupid.
is.
It's all
All
it
of
is,
his
just bullying
posts are
women.
him like bullying women. It's just him talking
Yeah.
down to women and calling women
Mhm.
terrible, nasty things.
Yeah.
And I was like, I bet you have a small penis and you probably have serious self-esteem issues. Are you single? Because you're giving single basement Bob vibes.
Yeah. So I had like all of my friends, including CJ. I was like, you guys go read him to filth. And they all did. Grace told him he looked like a before photo. And he kept deleting them. So I kept screenshotting them and reposting them on his page. So I think I might have gotten shadow banned on TikTok because I bullied my bully.
Worth it.
I
Worth
agree.
it. You can't dish it. You can dish it, but you can't take it. Bitch, I will
Yeah.
spoon feed it to you and shove it
Yeah.
down your throat.
But it's so true. And it's always
Yeah.
those men that are like, I got, she's a slut. Blah, 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 blah. Please. The only action you get is with a rubber doll.
Oh my God. Basement Bobs.
It
We are
is.
really telling men about themselves this week.
I'm really.
It's women
There's a-
empowerment episode. We're taking up for the ladies. Ladies, this one's for you.
Yes.
Speaking of taking up for the ladies, we haven't talked about this because we weren't around, but I want to talk about what's happening with Adriana Smith. This is a story that's been happening for months and months. For those that are kind of new to it, it's this most insane thing. This Black woman went to a doctor, was suffering from headaches. She actually works in the medical field. I believe she was a nurse and suffering from headaches. They didn't do any tests on her. They sent her home with some medicine. Within 24 hours, she was unresponsive. They called the ambulance and they said she was brain dead right there. And they put her on life support and has been on life support because she was pregnant. At the time, she was barely 8 weeks pregnant. And there's this heartbeat law in Georgia that they put into place. And with the repeal of Roe v. Wade, it then went into effect because this 8-week-old child, they were like, oh, well, it needs to go to term. This baby needs to be born. So they kept her on life support for 4 months. She was legally dead. And her family was like, please do not do this. This is not what we want. Her mother was distraught. Her husband was distraught. Do not do this. And they chose to treat this woman not like a person. This was not a person anymore to them. And the hospital couldn't do anything or they would have legal repercussions. Mm-hmm. And then they had to do an emergency C-section on this woman last week
because the baby
her
was
body,
dying.
The baby was dying and her body was decaying. What? In
This,
what
like-
fucking sane world do you stop treating a human like a human and treat them like some sort of baby machine?
We're not
What the Handmaid's Tale
incubators.
is even happening?
Right.
I was blown away. And the baby was barely 1 pound. And a while ago, they said, you know, this baby has fluid on the brain. It will likely never walk. It will never live a fulfilled life. And I'm not saying that it couldn't, but it was not set up for success. This baby was not going to live like many of us. And I thought it was absolutely terrible. I hate what that family's gone through.
It's awful. This is one of those situations that I don't know how, if any family that was pro-life would allow their daughter to go through that. Let her go be in peace. And this is one of those
And that's what her family wanted.
Right. And this is one of those situations that guys, hello, the gray area. This is a gray area, unique situation where this didn't have to happen to this family. And I also can't
Or her.
imagine. Right.
She didn't receive proper medical care to begin
No.
with.
From what I'm seeing, and I don't know that this is 100% valid, so don't mark me on this. The family's going to be stuck with these medical bills. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I saw in the articles that I was reading is as of now, with the way everything is written, the family will be receiving those bills. I am sure that
I'm gonna tell you right now.
for them to, but
I wish you fucking would. Bring that bill to me because what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk right in your office. I'm going to stare you right in the face. I'm going to rip that thing up. I'm going to ball it up. I'm going to throw it in your face. I'm going to tell you, go fuck yourself. Are you kidding me? You did this. You pay for it. I asked you not to. And I'm going to take it to the AG's office because the AG is the one that made the statement saying that this is what has to happen. The family couldn't do anything about it. How are you going to tell me what I should be doing with my children? Motherfucker, I wish you would give me a bill because I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get that bill shoved down your throat. You go find the money.
Terrible.
I'm going to live my life. Absolutely not.
It's one thing, and this is again where like this is such a personal choice. If the family wanted to, if they knew she was pregnant and they were like, okay, can we keep her alive and bring the baby to term? That is their choice. That is their choice. Okay. And for a mom and a dad and a husband to not want to watch. Also, she had another child. Like, you don't want them to see their family member like that. And also, oh my God, the poor medical staff that probably had to take care of her, knowing how wrong it was. I'm sorry. Someone, I want to make sure I say this just in case this girl happens to watch this podcast. On Threads this morning, a girl brought up the situation on Threads. And I was like, we're going to talk about this on the podcast today. And she goes, I hope you use the word corpse. And I hope you don't use the word delivery, but autopsy. Because that she is 110% right. Because that lifeless body should not be poked and prodded and forced into labor because she wasn't healthy and
it wasn't even labor. They just did an
pull-
emergency
bring that-
C-section.
right,
She wasn't
to
going into labor.
Exactly. To bring that baby to term. Like, oh my God. And you are 100% right too, CJ. That baby, maybe you never know, is probably not going to live a very full life either. This is so heinous. I get so worked up about abortion rights. I really do. It's like probably one of the things I'm incredibly passionate about. And this is one of those situations where I want everybody, as hard as it is, and if you are a pro-lifer, that is your choice, but just in these situations, please try and put yourself in the family shoes and in that person's shoes. Like, it kills me. Shame on this hospital because the law itself isn't clear enough for the hospital to make a confident decision. And that's where all of this is stemming from, is because the law is very ambiguous. And obviously a hospital is going to do whatever they can to protect their self-interest. As if a hospital can't take up a lawsuit. I'm sure they have 1,000,005 fucking lawyers that can handle that shit. And they were just so worried about the law not being clear enough that they forced this family to go through this. Shame on you guys. I'm pretty sure it was
that's what the
right?
AG. Yeah, that's what the Attorney General of Georgia said. He was the one that made the decision that this is what we're going to do with this. This is what this law means in this situation. And I was like, fuck you. I hope you get voted out and that you never work in this town again. You.
This is
period.
Terrible. And it's bad because if it happens to one person, it's going to happen to more women and it's going to happen to more families. Michelle Obama said recently in her podcast, I believe it's her podcast that she has, it was just a little clip that I saw. She said, I'm paraphrasing, but basically that we are starting to care less and less about the woman. And we are caring so much more about what she's able to provide to the world. And we are not looking at the woman. We are not incubators. We are not life makers. We are women. Yes, it is a huge, amazing part of life that we can do. And I think any mom, being a woman is fucking amazing. You literally can create life. But there's so much more to you.
Period.
There is so much more to you than that. There is. And we need to stop focusing so much on just the fact that women reproduce and the fact that there is a whole human woman behind those reproductive organs. Okay, guys?
Totally agree. I'm one of the biggest pro-women people you will ever meet. +1. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So my heart truly goes out to this family. I don't know if anybody that watches is connected to this family, please give them our love. And I'm just so saddened by this. And this is a very big step backwards for women's reproductive rights. And it's really, really awful.
Yeah. And I would even argue it is just an example of how people, and in my opinion, I do think her race played into that. It is very common for them to receive very different attention medically because she's a black woman. And that's just my opinion. People can agree or disagree on that. But regardless, she did not receive the proper medical care for her to have her symptoms addressed. You sent her home with pills. Yeah. Stop shoving pills down people's throats, period. Do a test.
Yeah.
She's at the fucking hospital because she has
doctors.
Headaches.
And we talked about this last week. No matter what, no matter who you are, advocate for yourself. If you know something is wrong, make them order a CT. Make them fucking do it. And we need to start holding our medical professionals a lot more accountable. Whoever that doctor was that sent her home should be sued for malpractice.
100%. Because they did finally do a CT after she was brain dead and saw that she had clots.
Like,
she had blood clots in her brain.
So please, guys, advocate for your health. I know, and it's hard because I know we're supposed to look up to our doctors because they know more than us. If you know in your gut that something is not right, advocate for your health. Go get the MRI. Go forward, because if you tell them, "Hey, I want this," and they refuse you, that goes down on a record. So please, and God, that doctor needs to not be a fucking doctor anymore.
Deep breath.
Yeah.
Because we're going to move on to I Need Your Opinion.
Yeah.
INYO, INYO. And we have some good ones. I like them. So let's move forward to that. It's INYO. Time for INYO.
I had someone respond to a story the other day, and they were like, I love Did he do it? So maybe that's just how we introduce all segments, because Did he do it? So boring that we can't say it.
Yeah, I believe it was Morgan Quinley is her name. Shout out Morgan, love, love, love. She posted on her story, I watched this while my babies are taking their nap, and she shows a photo that she took of us on YouTube on her screen, and I messaged her, I love you, thanks for the support. So shout out to Morgan. We'll whisper because the babies are asleep, but yeah, she also wrote that to me. So Morgan, love you.
Yeah. Yay. Alrighty. Let's move on to I Need Your Opinion. Are you ready for this first one? This one's I already know what your opinion is going to be on this one because I know you. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. This one says, I want to preface this by saying I love all animals, so don't come for me. My boyfriend and I have been together for a long time. We've talked a few times about moving in together, but he has a dog with some serious behavior issues. I have a more docile dog, and there have definitely been times where I've worried about his dog's behavior. I told him for us to live together, he has to rehome the dog. I'm not sure we've ever gotten in a bigger fight, and now I'm worried that this is turning into a breakup. She's extremely mean and has bitten other animals and people in the past, and I just don't feel comfortable, and I don't know what to do.
Oh, this is quite the conundrum. Well, I'm usually always on the side of an animal. I understand where she's coming from. If this is something that's been a repeated behavior, then the man has to be aware of this. If you're not aware of this, then that's crazy. I'm not in favor of like, all right, let's just get rid of the dog, because that dog is going to probably get euthanized, and I hate that. And did he mention that he's had the dog for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a part of his family. So you're asking him to get rid of a family member. I think before we just kind of go down that route, and I understand how this could be a make or break, and I wouldn't want to bring my dog around it either. Like Murphy is very docile for a pit bull. She's a blue nose pit bull, and this dog would never hurt a fly, and she's very submissive. And, you know, Moby, who is much smaller, Joey's dog, has gotten sort of territorial, but never to the point of aggressive. And for me, it was a training moment, and he's much better now. So instead of just screaming or, you know, being crazy about it, it's like, okay, what are we doing like when they start playing and he gets territorial? And honestly, I think it was a lot to do with me.
But you're a good dog trainer.
Because I take the time. If I'm going to have a dog, I want to do it responsibly. And so I've spent a lot of time training Murphy, and Moby's pretty well trained as well, but let's reward good behavior. Let's do positive reinforcement. It hasn't happened. I can't even begin to tell you how long that he's gotten a little territorial. So I think my first piece of advice is, what have we done to explore all options? Like Cesar Millan, this dog, hire a professional trainer. What can we do to identify the behavior? What is doing this? How can we try to approach the problem differently instead of just 86 in the dog? That's kind of hard for me to swallow, but I also understand this is a relationship. You've also put time and investment into this relationship. You don't want to just be like, all right, well, go fuck yourself. And, you know, if you all want to move in together, that's going to be difficult in this situation. Maybe that's not something you do right now. I think you putting a condition on it is not going to be good for you. I know if that were to happen to me, I would be like, sorry, girl, I'm not getting rid of Murphy. That's just not happening.
Yeah.
But I also would have already addressed the situation way before now. So that's a tough one. I think it's worth, instead of a fight, which it sounds like it's happening, is be like, look, I love Fido just like anybody. This is not about the dog. I mean, whatever. Spot. You know, Mary Tyler Moore, whatever the dog's name is. Mm-hmm. I love them to death. What can we do to maybe, like, I want to talk to you about this. Like, how can we try to improve the behavior? What can we do together to try and create a solution to the problem before we even have that discussion? So I think maybe don't give them that ultimatum. Try to exhaust your options first.
I agree.
What do you think?
Also, I'm in agreement with you. I'm always kind of like on the animal side with these things. But babe, if this is a big blow up fight, I don't know that y'all should be moving in together. Period.
Yeah.
Like
Ugh.
this, I feel like this conversation probably needed to happen a long time ago. And honestly, if you guys were really ready to move in together, this would have already been kind of resolved. And it also would kind of be a non-issue. It would be, oh, we're figuring out solutions to this because we love each other enough that we want to move in together, period. Like moving in together is the goal. So like the fact that you're fighting about this to get there kind of shows me that maybe you're not ready to move in together.
That's a good
You know what I
point.
mean?
Yeah, because this is a barrier. It's not a ultimatum. It's not a condition.
Exactly. If this is causing it, you even said yourself, this is feeling like a breakup conversation, then I'm thinking that you guys are going to break up regardless.
Ugh.
I hate to tell you that. Like, I'm sorry. That's what it sounds like. Anytime, whether there's a dog involved or not, if there's arguments around moving in together, you shouldn't be moving in together. It should be a very natural thing. And I feel like if he was ready to move in with you and like you were ready to move in, like you guys would either like go halvesies on boarded training, be like, because here's the thing too, if this dog is younger and you guys move in together, you're probably getting married, you'll probably have kids sooner than later. Sorry, I'm not going to have an aggressive dog around a baby. So I get that too.
Yeah.
These things would have already self-corrected, I believe, if you guys were.
And this isn't the first dog in the world to have behavioral problems. These solutions exist out there. Hello. What are we doing to create a solution instead of just getting rid of the problem?
Exactly. So I would evaluate your relationship. I think you should break up.
Oh my God, no.
No, but I do think you kind of need to evaluate your
Fucking
situation.
hateful.
I do. It shouldn't be that hard, period. Even when there's these kinds of things involved, like it shouldn't be this difficult.
Good luck, girl. Good
Yeah.
luck, Mary Tyler Moore, the dog.
We didn't. Sorry. I'm like, break up.
That dog's going to come bite you. Okay,
let's
I have
move
the
on.
next one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what you think about this as a female.
Okay.
One of my best friends is extremely thirsty, and I don't know how to tell her. It's to the point I don't want to go out with her anymore because it's all about chasing guys. Several guys have told me it's very off-putting how desperate she acts. Do I give her tough love or kill her with kindness? Go.
Ooh. I am the tough love friend. Ask any of my friends. You don't come to me if you want sunshine blown up your ass. I'm not the one. I'm just not.
Period.
Ooh, however, in this situation, it seems to me that you need to assess where some of your, because typically when this happens, when women are like this with men, it comes from, childhood issues, self-love issues,
Self-esteem.
self-confidence issues. Maybe she's had some trauma with past boyfriends or just bad experiences with men in general. So I think if it's getting to a point where it's bothering you so much that you like don't want to hang out with her, or you don't want to like go out with her, and like people are saying things to you, maybe try to find a way to address the root and not the fact that she's being so thirsty. Like, don't make the thirst the problem. Try to find ways to maybe you discover the root. I'm sure if you're this close with her, you probably know what it's stemming from. So if she needs a confidence boost her confidence. Don't tell her, hey, all of our guy friends are super annoyed with you because they think you're too thirsty. That is not going to help. It's just going to make it worse.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah. So lift her up.
Yeah. To answer your specific question, I don't know how you kill someone with kindness in this situation. Like, I don't know what that looks like. I'm also the tough love person, but I'm also a very empathetic person oftentimes in situations like this. You said best friends, and I would imagine you've known this person for quite some time. It definitely, in my opinion, sounds like a little bit of a maturity issue. I agree it's coming from somewhere. She just doesn't wake up and be like, I'm going to go after every man. And I'm probably sure it gets a little worse when she drinks because inhibitions are lower. If you are as close with her as you say in the word best friends, then she should be comfortable enough to sit down and have a conversation coming from a place of concern. I think you should bring like specific examples, maybe some that aren't harsh, but like be just careful about how you frame it, right? Don't be accusatory. Don't be negative about it. Hey, I'm just kind of concerned. I want to call out some specific instances where there were some things that happened that I just want to check on you and make sure you're okay, because I'm worried about how do you want to be be perceived in the world? What is your own personal brand? You know, like all the way to what you post online, how you speak to people. You know, I just want to make sure if you want people to perceive you that way. And when I mentor young people, I say the same thing. Like, do you think people would want to be around you when stuff like that happens? And try to get them to be more self-aware by exploring the example. And so that's kind of maybe come from a place of that. If she gets defensive and doesn't want to hear it and starts blaming you and talking down to you and blowing up at you, then maybe this friendship is just not where it needs to be. And it's time for you all to evolve in different directions. Maybe you're outgrowing it.
Yeah. You could also take it from like a perspective of, because like I imagine if she has these kind of issues, she's probably not going to take that well, to be honest. You could take it from like, I want to go out tonight, but like, I just want to spend time with us. Like, I don't want it to be about guys. Like, I feel, and you can kind of
that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Like maybe just be like, I want to go out with you tonight, but like, let's make it a rule, like, oh boys, like I want to spend time with you. And sometimes I feel like your attention gets taken by guys and I just want to spend time with you. And I just feel lately I haven't gotten to do that. So maybe you do it that, because it's sending her the message that you think she's like trying to talk to men too much, but it makes it more about like, hey, this is making me feel like you're not wanting to spend time with me, and put it back on you.
I like that one. Yeah, that's a really good scenario. I think it's worth a conversation. You know what? Try. Closed mouth never gets fed. Try it. Try to be a good friend. If she gets defensive and just doesn't want to hear it and the behavior either gets worse or doesn't end, then I'm sorry, boo.
Time to move on. Friendships evolve.
Friendships evolve.
And sometimes when they evolve, they dissolve.
Put that on a bumper sticker.
Yeah, I actually just made that up.
Come on, Hallmark card. So yeah, great show today. Happy 10th episode. Shout out to all of our ladies, women empowerment, and men, calm down. Let's, love you too. Not trying to say you're worthless and shit, but, just take a deep breath. We're all here on this planet, living one life to live. We are all just on this giant rock hurling through space, trying to make it through the end of the day and turn hard work into chicken nuggets. So everybody just take a deep breath.
Yeah. Submit your INYOs. And if you guys have good news to share that with us, please.
Yeah.
Please.
P.S. I got a comment from somebody about this lovely dog picture that I have hanging. Yeah, because someone's like, what's up with that photo? Why is it crooked? For the record, it's not crooked on the wall. It's somehow the angle of this camera that it do like that. And so I don't know. I need to find a way to make it crooked on the wall so it doesn't look crooked on the wall. But I swear to God, it's straight because I'm very type A OCD personality. And if that thing were crooked in real life, I would twitch. So it's
oh my God. It does look crooked. I've never noticed that, but it actually does. It does do like that.
It do like that. Anyway, love, hugs, and kisses. Thanks everybody who's been sticking with us through all 10. And yeah, we're gonna keep going.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. A week, I guess.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Yeah. See you next week.